Hi guys, I am going to talk about two important issues. One, 15 minutes reading time, how to use that. Like your exam is at 2 o'clock. 15 minutes before exam, you will be given question paper, descriptive question paper. How to read that, like how to read that question paper in this 15 minutes of time, how to make best out of this 15 minutes. Point number two, what is the order of attempting the question? Like many students often ask me, sir, can I attempt the questions in whatever the order I want? For example, I'll come to 15 minutes reading time. By the way, I'm telling you, this is something which many students do not pay attention. Where they casually take the entire question paper, read entire question paper, 30 pages question paper, 20 pages question paper. Within 15 minutes, you will read the entire paper, which is shocking for me. It's impossible. Fine, I'll come to it later. What is the best order of attempting the question? This is one issue. I want to talk about two issues. One is order of attempting the question. Like for example, recently one of the student, no, he has mailed to ICA and he got this reply. Like actually the student messaged me, he has commented on my one of the old video where I exactly did the same topic, 15 minutes reading time, order of attempting the question. I did even in the previous exams also. Like look at this. This is the reply which ICA has given. This is the reply which ICA has given. There is no order of writing questions in CA final exam. Actually, this student has asked for final. So that's the reason they replied final. The same logic is applicable for CA intro also. However, it is prudent to write the correct question number while answering. What exactly the student asked? Am I permitted to answer sub question of a main question first? Then proceed to answer other questions such as question number 3 and 4, later return to the remaining parts of the question number 2. In other words, is there any requirement that all sub questions of a particular question should come at continuously? Yes or no? In fact, I clarified this many a times. Many students often confused. Many students often think that, suppose, no, you have question number, let us assume 2A. I wrote question number 2A. Yes, you did that. Next page, you will start fresh question, right? You can happily start question number 4B. Suppose you know question number 2 part A very well. Then you know very well question number 4B. You can happily write. Sir, like this I will go for question number 5C. Then I will write 6D, sir. Then again can I come back and write 2B question? Absolutely yes. That is what even in the reply given by the exam department mentioned, that as long as question number is clear. Okay, what do you mean by a clear question number? If this is the paper given to you, on the top of the question paper, question number 3A, and in the margin also, please mention clearly like this question number. As long as you are mentioning the question number clearly, order is irrelevant. I can start my first page, first question, I can start with 1A, I can go 4D, I can go 2A, I can write 3C, 5B, then again 1B, 1C I will go. That's my choice. As long as the question number is clear, your paper will be valued. Many students often assume that 3A, immediately you should write 3B, then they should write 3C, then all subparts of the same question should be at one place. So this is what many misinterpret. Actually, in the exam paper, answer sheet, you will have some instructions. All parts of the question shall be at same place. Question parts means what, in 3A, the answer is there. Like some students, what they do, they write 3A answer fully over. They strike it off. Go to the next page. Okay, they write. Again, some point they will miss. Some working note they will miss in 3A. What they do, they will put in another page, continuation to 3A, working note 1. That is not permitted. Getting it? Now, 3A is a different question, 3B is a different question, 3C is a different question, 3D is a different question, because marks were given for those 4 questions differently. So these are all different questions only, but they are part of a single big question called 3. So these are at the end of the day different questions. So don't worry. You can happily write 3A, 2D, 4C, 4D like that. No problem at all. So this is one issue which I wanted to clarify. Literal, I'm telling you guys, no problem at all. Look at the screenshot which I showed, which a student has exactly asked and what reply he gave. Because he even mentioned this, because for many students the confusion will be cleared. I felt I have to do a video on this, so I made this. Then this is one issue. Then coming to the most important issue, how to use the 15 minutes reading time. Our students are so fast. Our students are so smart. Final and inter students. What they do, 15 minutes. I think 30 seconds is what they spend on each and every page. 30 seconds. They just open, they just briefly see the entire question, go to the next question, go to the next question, go to the next question. Within 15 minutes, entire question paper they will read. which is absolutely not possible. Impossible. Okay, and what they do, like, I don't know how many of your repeaters, how many of you have faced this particular trend, I don't know how many of you have faced this scenario, I don't know. Like some of for example, accounting paper we will take, accounting paper or FR paper we will take, because in both the papers, consolidation is there. Many students start consolidation problem doing it first. They open and they see the entire question paper and they feel consolidation or some amalgamation, some problem is there. This question I know very well. They will start, they will first put heading question number 3B, okay, which is some 12 marks or 15 marks question, taxation or costing or FM or whatever it is. They'll start with this, and now they will first put some little formats, all that they do little bit work, then they will start reading the question. Gone. One adjustment they saw which they have never seen in their preparation process, where conceptually they are unable to understand that particular adjustment. They are solving almost, the answer is in 2 or 3 pages or 4 pages. They solved 2 pages answer over. Just one more page only left, conclusion stage. But he is unable to understand. The student is unable to understand what exactly to do at that phase. Gone. Why this mistake happened, You know what? More than 50% of the students I interact, the very first question itself they're doing wrong. The very first question itself they're doing wrong. The first question itself. In your case, you are watching the video, please comment below if you experience this. The very first question itself they're doing wrong. Especially big problems like amalgamation, cost, cash flow statement in FR and all, like some provision, some problematic based problems, whatever. If you experience that, please make a comment below so that everybody will understand. Yes, this is not exception. This is normal for everybody. More than 50% of the students do first question itself wrong answer. And what happens generally? See here, why this happened, because you selected that question number 3B, you selected that question number 2A, 4C, something 4, some question above. You selected that question based on a brief reading. You don't know what exactly the complexity involved in that question. Prima facie, when I saw briefly some random lines, you felt the question is very tempting, attractive, easy. You selected and you started preparation. But actually, only when you start writing the answer, you understood that this is something different. This is something difficult than what you expected. Now what happens? What our students will do, they struggle 5 minutes. They struggle for 5 minutes. Then they finally decide, okay, let me do one thing. I'll give 2 pages break. Then I'll start next question. Half an hour already over. Half an hour already over. This is because the first 15 minutes reading time he did not utilize properly. If at all he utilized the 15 minutes reading time properly, like what I'm going to tell now, he will know the answer. The entire exam would have been different. The entire exam would have been different. The entire attempt would have been different. Mostly accounting and FR is the first paper in CA Inter and CA Final. And even in group 2, direct taxes and in CA Inter group 2, costing. In all the first papers only this issue generally comes. So that first paper, first question, half an hour disappointed. What happens? Okay, then student again, he has a mediocre knowledge on another question again, which he thought in the 15 minutes reading time, okay, that's the second best question, that he will start. And what exactly happens here, your mind is not fully attentive on the second question that you're writing. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you're still thinking about the first question. You're still trying to figure out what should be the answer for the first question, what should be the adjustment, how we should do. You're trying to retrieve. Your mind is not fully attentive towards the second question. Another half an hour gone. Second question, somehow we are able to solve it very good. Maybe in the remaining 2 hours, 1 hour over, remaining 2 hours, you'll be able to perform well. But if second question also you're unable to perform, exam is done. That paper, 90% your confidence will hit lowest, which will impact your even your remaining exams performance. So this is one trend which I usually observe. What is the reason behind this? The 15 minutes reading time, they are not using it efficiently. How to use this 15 minutes reading time? Suppose what I did, in my CA Inter and in my CA Final, this is something which I personally discovered. Okay, so what I did in 15 minutes, I never read entire question paper. I don't even try to read. I know pakka that in accounting, consolidated financial statements question pakka will come, or cash flow statement question will come, amalgamation question will come, something will come. For example, if the income tax, total income question will come pakka. What I do, I ignore about the entire paper. I'm not worried about it. This 12 marks or 15 marks question, throughout this 15 minutes, I will read only one question. I will read only one question which is a 15 marks weightage, 12 to 15 marks weightage worth of question. Only one question I'll select and read that question only entire 15 minutes. And what I will do, you know, I will frame the entire step by step answer until the last answer. Entire answer in my mind. Within this 15 minutes, only one question I will solve. Entire answer I will develop. The moment 2 o'clock, you know, the moment time turns 2 o'clock, the moment bell rings, I copy paste what is there in my mind onto the paper. Whatever is there in my mind, right? I'll just copy paste onto the paper. This is what I do. You know what happened because of this, you know, in my exams also, what I felt, you know, what happened, you know, within 20 minutes itself, one 12 marks or 15 marks question I fully completed without a single mistake. See, maybe the real answer might be different from what I wrote, but according to me, I gave my best without where my pen did not stop anywhere. I did not struggle anywhere in this 15-20 minutes of whatever I'm writing, initial 20 minutes. Imagine in the first 15-20 minutes after 2 o'clock, you're able to finish 12 to 15 marks question fully, thoroughly, you're able to write. Imagine the kind of confidence that you will have on the rest 2.5 hours. Exactly. This is how you need to use first 15 minutes reading time. In every one of you, in every subject, you know, some pakka question will come from so and so chapter. Big questions, especially 8 marks question, 12 marks question, 15 marks question. Pakka, you know very well. Try to identify where that question. The moment suppose I'm writing FR or accounts, I'll first figure out, is there any 12 or 15 marks question first? I'll figure out. Oh, question number 4A, 12 marks question. What is that question? I'll briefly read. From the chapter which I know. Then what I will do, you know, I will forget about remaining entire question paper. Only this 4A question. I will read thoroughly the entire question and I will start writing the paper. I will first develop the answer. Then I will copy whatever the answer I developed in my mind. I will copy onto the paper. First 20 minutes of the exam. Paper done. 12 to 15 marks. More portion is done. Perfectly written. My mind is free. Second question, then again I will read carefully the entire question paper. Briefly I will scan, then select one question, then that question I will read and then do it. Now here one doubt some students will get, sir, what if in the first question, no, 10 minutes I spent, sir, after spending 10 minutes I got to know that I don't know this answer. Tell me, whether you are reading entire question paper briefly in the 15 minutes, your time available is 3 or 15 minutes only. 3 hours is for writing the answers, 15 minutes for reading the question. Total time available is 3 or 15 minutes only. What I am telling you is, organize in this way. Instead of reading briefly entire paper at first and then reading one by one in depth, first read one question only in depth, then read briefly later on. That's what I am telling you. Exactly. So briefly identify one big question. Briefly read. Then you understood this is something you can solve. That only you read thoroughly. Develop the entire answer within first 15 minutes reading time. The moment 2 o'clock it happened, start writing the entire answer which you developed in your mind. Within first half an hour, you will finish entire question. This will help you really like anything. That's it. So these are the two issues which I want to focus on. And one more thing, yes, the first paper is tomorrow for final students FR. And accounting students, day after tomorrow, the first paper accounting. And remember, generally first paper, most of the times I can tell you, accounts and FR is going to be very tough. Generally, they'll be very tough. Don't get disappointed. As long as you're able to attempt 70 to 80 marks, 70 to 80 marks, as long as you're able to attempt, there is a high possibility that you can score 55 plus. There is a high possibility. Maybe after you write the paper and come back, your instinct will say that 40 also tough only to score because I hardly wrote for 70, 1 or 2 questions wrong also, 40 only I will score. Like that, your mind will tempt you. Don't trust it. Generally in the first paper, even though the paper is tough, valuation, some grace marks will be there. We don't know. Sometimes grace marks are 12 marks also. Sometimes 5 marks. Sometimes 3 marks. Sometimes 8 marks. So even though you're expecting 40, your actual mark sheet will be 50. So based on your first exam performance itself, don't drop from the attempt. You prepared for entire group 1, for example. Stick to the entire group 1 till the last exam, till the last paper in that group. Give same level of attention, irrespective of your performance in the first paper. There are many students who dropped or who took carelessly the attempt. The first exam they would have not performed well. They think 40 also tough to score, and they casually went and wrote remaining 2 papers. And when the result card came, first paper they got 50, which they didn't expect. And what they feel, hurry, if I know that I will get 50, that time itself I would have studied remaining two, revised the remaining 2 papers thoroughly, and I would have qualified. With 5 marks aggregate, they would have failed. Because of negligence in the second and third paper based on the first paper impression which they have. So, be careful. Okay, that's it. I just want to communicate these 2 issues, and okay, do well, all the very best. And I'm honestly telling you, every one of you, whoever have really prepared hard, 99% you get your deserved result. Okay, your result, your performance in exam, your result, everything is something generally whatever you deserve, you get it. And I really hope that whoever have studied sincerely should get the successful in their particular exam, should see that successful name, getting it, that successful word in the result card, whoever have really worked on it. That's it. All the very best.